Hi there, I'm the Girlie.
Hey, I'm the Philosoclot. You know, you're a pretty incredible person.
That's so true.
So I decided I would make a video about why you are so great. Let's start off with your content. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Girlie, she started making videos about 7 months ago, a little bit more, in December, and even though she hasn't had very much time, she has made a multitude of videos covering a variety of topics. For example, she discusses religion and how its dogma can negatively affect people and societies. She also discusses news topics, and more recently, she has been reviewing some movies. But what's most important is that she talks about things which she's interested in. For example, she talked about the human Barbie doll, she's talked about feminism, and she talks a lot about sexuality, how people interact with each other sexually. She talks about homosexuality, she talks about gender identity. She cares about the LGBT community. She's definitely an ally, and she is not really unbiased by all means. No, she does give her opinion, and she really doesn't care.
I agree.
For instance,
I think this is weird as fuck. I think this is H.R. Geiger levels of weird, fever dream night terror weird. But my irrelevant opinion aside, there's nothing actually wrong here.
and this brings me to my next portion, which is character. And let me tell you, the Girlie has tons of character. I mean, just from that one clip, you can already tell she is great at ranting. However, as I've said before, she does give her opinion, and that's just it. She's not claiming to give the objective truth. She's not claiming to even be unbiased at that. No, she gives her opinion, she gives her viewpoint, she gives her take on things, and she gives reasons for why she thinks the way she does. And I think that's just great. Seriously, what more can you ask of someone than for them to give their best viewpoint as they can and give good reasons for why they think that way?
I concur.
But you know what I really like? I like the fact that she is willing to take the time to give other viewpoints. And sometimes she goes as far as to explain how they could be right, but that she's simply not convinced that they are. And from what I can tell, she's very open-minded. And we all, I think, should be like that. After all, shouldn't we realize that we have our own biases, our own experiences, our own opinions, and that if presented with enough evidence and good reasons, we should at least accept that we could be wrong, and if not, be able to switch our opinions for better ones? And yeah, in her own terms, she can be pretty snarky, and she can give superficial criticisms, but it's not like she's a bitch or anything.
Well, that's your opinion.
Well, yeah.
And it's wrong.
Maybe, but even so, even if I grant that the people who say you're a bitch are correct, I don't think it matters. At the very least, you would be a caring bitch, because as far as I can tell, you do seem to genuinely care about humanity, society, how people treat one another, and how people are tolerant of one another. So, fine, you say some snarky or bitchy comments here and there, I really don't care. Even though generally I don't like to associate or even listen to people like that, you do it so fantastically, and you have such personality. And it's like I can even tell exactly what faces you're making behind that mask. Although, you do seem to have some mysteriousness going on for you behind that mask, don't you? I should probably talk about the giant elephant in the room, huh? Which naturally is the fact that she speaks for so long without any uhs or ums or any other pauses that she doesn't purposefully mean to make. Okay. I'll address the actual elephant, which of course is...
Boobs.
Yes, boobs. And again, I've got to hand it to you. I don't have a hat, but if I had a hat, I would tip it to you, GirlDoesRant, because, well, I just am so impressed that you are able to be so comfortable with your body and that you're willing to express yourself the way you feel comfortable, despite what other people might say. And even though I'm not into blonde broads per se,
That's what you get for not being blonde.
fair enough. But as I was saying, I can only imagine you get a bunch of sexist, vulgar, and slut-shaming comments all the time. But you go on because you're not hurting anybody, you're not doing anything wrong, you're just expressing yourself, and because you genuinely enjoy making videos the way you do. And this brings me to my final part, your cause. As I said before, as far as I can tell, you seem to really want to help people in a way that you're comfortable doing and in a way that you can.
That's correct.
I'm proud to say that I'm a fan of yours, GirlDoesRant. And for those of you who haven't yet watched her videos, I'm going to be presenting a couple clips of hers, which will hopefully show you some of the reasons for which I think that she's so thought-provoking and worth your time of day.
Because the opposing opinion of another person is only that, their opinion, their biased worldview. And it's only when you attach your ego to an opinion that you leave it open for bruising.
The thing that I find most interesting about this particular clip is that when I think about criticisms, I usually like to push the other person away, or at least I think I do. It's always, why do you think that? Why do you have that opinion about me? And yet, here the girlie is, saying no. It's the fact that I am actually attaching myself to their opinion that makes it so that way I will be offended by whatever it is that they're saying. I don't know if this is true, per se. However, I do know that it did make me ponder it for a good amount of time. And it was a very enjoyable amount of time, mind you. And what's more is, it is exactly things like this that are so wonderful in conversations and that can lead to really interesting and really fun conversations with people. Here's another clip.
Now, does actual sexual objectification exist? Of course it does. But does that make every instance of sexual expression, appreciation, objectification? Every moment we're attracted to another human being for their bodies? Our desire that we be appreciated as sexual creatures? No, of course it doesn't. Like many other forms of bigotry, true objectification requires intent, because in a way we objectify every day. We look, compare, contrast, we measure the worth of something against another something. That's what we do, that's how we function. But it's not a practice put into play for the purpose of doing harm. That's the difference. So enjoy it. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy other people, enjoy me. I know I do.
We like to tell ourselves, things just aren't black and white. And yet, how easy is it for us to get into that mindset anyway? I agree with the girlie. Yes, objectification can be immoral, but that doesn't mean that every instance in which objectification exists is immoral. Indeed, that kind of society would be scary to me. Think about it. If every time you were looking at someone thinking that person is attractive, you were being immoral, how would that make you feel? That your natural urges, that human nature that exists in you, is wrong. I suggest you go check out her channel. If you like her videos, like them. If you want to subscribe, do it. I recommend it. I'm going to continue watching her videos. I hope you'll look at them, at least a few of them. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen to you? If you lose 10 minutes, she's worth it. I assure you.